Spotlight Game presented by ADT. We're in the Big 12. 2 unbeaten. Texas Tech against Texas on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Austin, Texas. And for the first time under Mack Brown's tenure, the Longhorns stand 6-0, ranked number 2 in the BCS standings. They also are enjoying one of the longest winning streaks in the country. 13 in a row. Lance Armstrong, one of the honorary captains here today, meeting at midfield with our referee, Tom Walker. As the co-captains exchange greetings and Lance shakes the hand of one and all at midfield. A sellout crowd greets the Horns.
Along with my partner Gary Daniels. Gary, I think it's appropriate. We got a couple of gunslingers in this game. Vince Young and Cody Hodges, dandy quarterback.
They really are, Brent. And you know, they're confident players, and they've earned their confidence with their production on the football field. That's what you do. You can't give a guy confidence. You have to earn it. And they are productive, comfortable football players. Now, how do you win this football game? Texas has a number of ways to win it. They got athletes all over the field. Texas Tech has one way to win this football game: throw it. But they've got a puncher's chance, because when you do something really well, like Tech does, you can win a game.
So our stage is set. It's a showdown. The Texas Titans, the Red Raiders, and the Horns are coming up on ABC. You would expect this from a gunslinger. Mike Leach, the coach of Texas Tech. They won the toss. They did not defer. They want the ball. They want to go on the offensive to begin this game. Amendola and Woods are back deep. And the ball is being put on the tee by Greg Johnson, number 97. He's the junior from Lilburn, Georgia. Take a knee on this one, and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. So, Gary, talk to me about the game plan of the Red Raiders and what Texas will do defensively.
You know, there's an old saying, yards don't win football games, but for Texas Tech, they must get yards, and to do that, they have to make first downs. Third down is going to be critical. They had an off game against Nebraska. Texas, you know, as fancy as this offense is, it still comes down to tackling, and when they catch those passes, getting that guy with small yards after catch. We'll be watching that all football game.
Senior quarterback Cody Hodges, number 10, from Hereford, Texas, brings the Red Raiders to the line, and look at that wide split. They spread the field out with their offensive line, keeping the defense spread out as well. First down pass incomplete. So the Red Raiders are in 2nd and 10, and Cody Hodges has fabulous numbers this year, averaging better than 400 yards a game. Put up 643 a week ago. Here are his playmakers. Torian Henderson has caught more passes than any running back in college football history. The linebackers, Aaron Harris, a Butkus finalist, and that secondary, which will be under fire from the beginning of the game throughout the afternoon. In a contest that could last well beyond 4 hours. 2nd down and 10. Henderson is stuffed. Could not even get back to the line of scrimmage as Robinson met him. The offensive line, E.J. Whitley, has moved over to center today, and Kagans draws a start at left guard. That's a late change against this defensive front for the Longhorns, and of course they were ready. Oakham right, Robinson, Crowder, a good bunch. 3rd down and 10. The Red Raiders unable to gain a yard so far. There's a penalty on the play. There's a penalty on the snap. It was caught at the sideline, but there is a penalty flag thrown by the line judge on the snap. And here is Tom Walker. He replaced the injured Walter Davenport, and we hope that Walter is recuperating. Suffered a wrist injury last week.
Both line judges, both sides of the field, threw their flag on that.
Illegal formation against the offense. Not nothing on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. Repeat, third down.
A heavily penalized team, Texas Tech is. And they draw the first yellow flag.
Yeah, and it's such a big play because it was caught on the sideline, which keeps Vince Young on the sideline. So each one of those plays, those self-inflicted wounds against a hot offense like Vince Young is running, really comes back and adds up as the game goes on.
3rd and 15. Good protection. Couldn't find an open receiver, and now sprints to the right. And Texas Tech is forced to punt. He was met by Robert Killebrew, a linebacker who really impressed you in practice.
He really did, Brent. This guy is really coming on. I asked defensive coordinator Gene Chizik what player has come on the most since we saw him at Ohio State, and he pointed right to number 40 and said he is an intense football player. And Brent, we are out of practice. He is in the game. That boy, that kid wants to be a great football player.
Alex Reyes punting. Shelvon Cosby set to return. Three protectors. The Gunners are given a lot of room to come down. Short. Excellent field position. Working in Red Raider territory. About 43, 44 yards away. And now what about the Longhorns game plan here, Gary?
Well, as much headlines as Vince Young gets, and he deserves them all, the key to this Texas attack is that they're balanced. At receiver, they got 5 guys that can hurt you, a tight end, a running back, and of course Vince can do it with his legs, and he's proven with his arm. And just the flip side for Texas Tech, they got to find a way to get off the field, whether by 3 and out or by turnovers. One way or another, they've got to get off the field.
Texas comes out in a power I with Selvin Young at tailback. The junior gets the game's first handoff, breaks free. 35. Stretching for a first down, an 11-yard run.
Well, Selvin Young has had to share those backfield handoffs with the emerging running back Jamal Charles, but you can see Selvin Young, when he's healthy and he's in shape, which he is now, is a threat. And if you talk to the Texas coaches, they say he's playing better without the ball than with it. That means he's picking up blitzes and running his assignments perfectly.
Leaving Hall in as the fullback to lead the way. A power attack to start this game to the 28-yard line. Vince Young, the dual threat quarterback. Note the 413 yards rushing, and he is 23-2 as a starter. Here are his playmakers. Now, we mentioned Young. He's carried it. And freshman Jamal Charles will see a lot of action here today. The linebackers will have their hands full because Texas is showing a power attack, and the secondary has to be ready for when Vince puts it in the air as he did last week. Young searching for daylight that time, and not nearly as successful as Meeks. Makes the stop. The offensive line is a dandy. Especially note the tackles. Justin Blaylock, the junior, on the right. Jonathan Scott from Dallas over on the left. It's a veteran group. They've been together all season. This defensive line will have its hands full here today. 2nd and 8 for Vince. Draw fake. Throw wide open. He had his tight end wide open on the play and just overthrew David Thomas, who stands 6'3".
You talk to people trying to defend Vince Young. Before it was, okay, we got to stop this guy running, and then he can do a lot of things on broken plays, kind of tough to defense, but now he's turned it into a pocket passer. There's no real way to stop this guy, you have to play sound defense. That's the only way to do it.
Billy Pittman checks in at wide receiver. He's in the slot to the right for Young. Obvious passing situation. Young on 3rd and 8 is in the shotgun. Veteran offensive line gives him time, and Young just puts it down, trying to get the first down. Will not. Mack Brown with a decision to make. Does he go for the field goal here? Doesn't even hesitate. Out comes the kicking unit right now. Ozzie Rudin makes the stop for the Red Raiders on that play. And it will be 4th down, and trotting out is David Pino. He's the senior from Wichita Falls, Texas.
Well, the overthrow by Vince Young really set up the chains in Tech's favor. You can see this Tech defense much quicker than you remember seeing them a lot. They are really run to the ball well.
Matt Nordgren, the backup quarterback, will put it down. The snapper, Nick Schroeder. He's a senior from the Woodlands. That's just nearby Houston. This will be a 40-yard attempt for Pino. Got it. So after the short punt, the Horns take advantage of good field position, but the Red Raiders receive a lift because they did not yield a touchdown. Coming up now, why the Texas Tech passing attack works. Just runs the same play over and over and over again. Predetermined routes for the receivers, different from Mouse Davis's old run and shoot. That was read on the run by the wide receivers. These are predetermined by the play call for the most part. That's one of the subtle differences between Texas Tech and the old run and shoot. Coming out now, Gary, on the 20-yard line. Tell us a little bit more about this Texas Tech attack. Why are the linemen so spread out, for example?
Everything is based on simplicity in this pass offense. Do things over and over again and do it really well. And pass protection is simplified by forcing the defensive line to adjust by taking very wide splits and keeping pass protection very, very clear. It's almost like punt protection. Look at this. Here's the offensive tackle, ball in the middle of the field, and there he is. That's the offensive tackle right there. Look how wide he is from the ball on this play.
Tried to throw it in underneath. Incomplete. And we go down to our colleague Jack Arute. Jack, how's the sunshine on this beautiful day in Austin, my friend?
You can see, Brent, you really have a problem when you're at the far end behind me trying to receive the ball, especially for the first quarter or so. But one of the things Mack Brown did earlier this week on Thursday, he'd never done it before. He invited Bevo to practice. But Bevo's handler showed up dressed as Texas Red Raiders. Then the fans showed up. They were dressed as Red Raiders as well. He told his players, these guys are trying to steal what's dear to us, protect it today, and he used it as motivation.
Thank you, Jack. 2nd down and 10. The running play breaks wide open for Henderson. A good running back to the 47-yard line. Torian Henderson, the senior from Gatesville, 27 yards.
See, that's what that space does also. When you hit those quick hitters like that, you really only need one block up front in the inside right here. You get one block and you're popping right through on the play. You don't have to block the guys on the outside. Quick trap inside, boom, there's Henderson. Speed at running back, hit that penetrating Texas defense really quickly.
Without a huddle, play being called at the line of scrimmage. So Cedric Griffin running Henderson down on that play. The fake did not work as Roderick Wright, the senior from Houston, the All-American defensive lineman, just kept that gap filled.
Yeah, now the Texas Tech offensive line has a lot of experience and are very good pass blockers, but you can already see emerging here, they're going to have a tough time handling the Texas defensive line one-on-one. That's the challenge for Leach here. He has to keep them off balance with play calls.
Facing 2nd and 12. First down marker at the Texas 43. Incomplete. Huff. The defender was all over the receiver. And big day in the Big Ten, and Johnson. And here, young Hodges is 0 for 3. Here comes his 4th attempt. Middle, he's 0 for 4. And the Red Raiders are forced to punt again. 2 series. I dare say that's the first time this has happened, that they do not have 1 yard passing after 2 series. Hard to believe.
Really it is. 70% completions on the year, but that time a very delayed safety blitz. And that's the strategy again for Texas. Give them a lot of looks and put pressure on that quarterback. No man, no zone, a little of everything, and keep Cody Hodges guessing.
Alex Reyes punted again. He hasn't been this busy in a couple of years. Much better punt. Fair catch by Cosby at the 21-yard line, and the gunner was right there on top of it. Last week, Vince Young, according to Mack Brown, had his finest day ever as a passer. We'll check in on Vince when you come back. 45 points a game is pretty good, but consider the Texas Tech average is 53 a game, and they're number one. So everybody thought we were going to have a high-flying, high-scoring game. Still could develop that way, but right now it is the defense for Texas that has stalled the Red Raiders in 2 series, and here comes Vince Young and the Horns, and Vince right away is back there in the gun. And there's the handoff to the youngster. We told you Jamal Charles would see a lot of action today. He's run out on the far sideline by Meeks. Well, we asked Vince, what about the defenses? What are they trying to do to trick you a little bit, Vince?
Yeah, I'm seeing a whole lot. They doing so much, and it's just real crazy just seeing what they trying to do or what they doing in the secondary. But it's just me getting my guys out the huddle and getting out there and getting my pre-snap reads helping me out a whole lot.
A fierce competitor and a leader. Those two things always come through when you talk to the Texas coaching staff. He really enjoys playing football. He'll keep it himself, and there's that option look, and then the pitch to the freshman, and the Red Raiders met it very, very well at the point of attack. Brinkley, number 41, delivered a solid blow.
You watch that Texas Tech defense, they do not blitz a lot. In fact, when you talk to the Texas coaches, they're the least blitzing team they've faced. They blitz only about 15% of the time. Vince Young smartly gets rid of that ball. He does not want to take a lot of punishment in a football game the way he's throwing it. But I tell you, I really am impressed with the way Texas Tech's linebackers flow to the football. They all run very, very well.
Give you an idea, Texas blitzes 43%, just to follow up on what Gary told you, as they go ahead for the first down on that running play. And they had charted all of the Red Raiders' defensive plays, and they came out to 12% versus Texas at 43%. That's a big difference, Gary.
And 40%, and then the norm in all of the Big 12, they told us what, 25 to 35% is the norm in the Big 12. Very interesting. You get the stats within the stats and the strategy by different teams.
Now you can see that base defense of the Red Raiders sitting there in that 4-3. Short of the first down, reached the 40-yard line, and Saldi, who has impressed you, makes a stop. Well, the Trojans of USC, the Horns, are interested in what they're doing. Of course, if the BCS championship game had been played today, it would have been USC and Texas. They're ranked 1 and 2. And the throw is to Brian Carter, the senior, also for the Woodlands, and that's a first down.
Yeah, you can't stop that. You just can't stop that type of precision with that gift of an athlete out there at Vince Young.
Well, Monday night, back by the name of Curtis Martin, and that's on at 9 Eastern or 8 o'clock out here in Texas. How about Bill Parcells? He once was an assistant coach with the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They got the Dallas Cowboys, one of those teams you have to think about when you look down the road to January to the NFC Championship game. First down and 10. There's the fake by Young. Stands tall. He's 6'5", picked off. Intercepted. And a straight shot for Chris Parker. The first big turnover and break. Chris Parker picks off Vince Young's pass, which was intended for Limas Swede.
Texas and Vince Young has been throwing a lot of out routes. And I think this time Texas Tech gambled on this one. Parker just squatted. It was a good throw. Ball's out to the outside, and look at that. When you have a corner that can eat up a route that well, that's either a bad pass route by your wide receiver or a corner that's squatting, guessing on the play.
And now inside of 7 minutes in the opening quarter, The Red Raiders are a yard away from the red zone. Cody Hodges looking for his first completion of the day. He's 0 for 4. Getting the spot marked, you can see on the far side. Up under center. Henderson bangs into the right. Reaches the 16-yard line, and Michael Griffin, one of the Griffin twins, makes the stop. We check in down below with Jack. And what did Mike Leach tell the offense, Jack?
I'm beginning to think he might be a prophet, Brent, because when they came off the field, he gathered them all around, and Mike Leach said, look, stay focused, don't get discouraged. And then he went to walk away and turned back and says, our defense will get it back for us.
Whoa. So there it is, 79% touchdowns, 31 of 39 on trips into the red zone. Second down from that zone right now. Hicks has got it. First down, Hicks inside the 10-yard line.
That's why it's so tough to blitz late, because of those screen plays. Now, you know, Brent, those coaches, NFL guys got those big playlists. Look at Mike Leach's playlist. It's a little teeny handkerchief, you know. I mean, he's got like, you see those NFL guys, they tuck them in their pants and they fold them over 5 times. He's got a little teeny thing. Only he knows what's going on, the mad scientist.
Mad Mike over there on the far side with a first and goal, trailing by a field goal.
Still wide splits.
Fires, complete, and put it down, but was he down on the ground? It's being marked by the official on the field. It seemed to come out late. Robert Johnson, the receiver that time, the converted quarterback. Now take another look at this and see if we need instant replay to step in here on this.
A little bunch route. Johnson catches the ball, goes down with his left knee, reaches forward, and then the ball pops through. I think that's a correct call.
Yeah.
So far.
Whitley over the ball. Centering today to Hodges. Henderson for the touchdown. Texas Tech leads it.
Henderson with 272 career receptions. He's comfortable with the ball in the air and catching it. You see a little rub off. 2 receivers go inside, rub off. He sees the outside man come. He just dump it off, and Henderson gets into the end zone for first touchdown of the football game.
Jalika tacks on the extra point. The interception. Jalika with the ball on the tee to kick it off for the Red Raiders. Lamont Taylor back deep with Cosby. Here's Taylor from the 10. Cuts at the hash. 35, 40. Sensational return. And college football on ABC. Taylor gives Vince Young breathing room at the 45. The freshman and Selvin Young have been exchanging at that running back spot. Back with the veteran coming off the knee injury and running hard across midfield. Leave him about second down and 4-3 pending the spot. Just after 3 o'clock here in Austin, Texas. Beautiful, beautiful day for football. Gary and Jack, I'm Brett. Nice to have you along with us. Battle of the Unbeatens. A couple of those teams that are making a spirited run for the roses now. BCS championship, of course, will be out in Pasadena. Selvin Young picks his way, first down. Selvin Young running very well here today. Dawson, Deontay Dawson, big number 96 there on the stop.
Now
22 coming off major knee surgery, Gary.
Yes, every time Vince Young hands that ball off, that's the zone read play from the shotgun. He could have kept that ball and ran, so he really blocks a player every time he hands that ball off, because the end man has to be ready for him to pull it down and run.
Back to the gun again on this first down. Red Raider territory. Play fake this time, puts it down, looking for a receiver, and incomplete. Batted down by big number 84, Cherry. Got a big paw on that, but the pressure was applied by 41, Brinkley.
Brinkley gets into Vince Young. Remember Vince Young against Ohio State when he threw that ball when he was wrapped up? This is going to happen again. Brinkley gets him, picks him up, and kind of Turkey Jones him like they did to Terry Bradshaw. Now that could have been called unnecessary, but in Brinkley's defense, hey, I don't know if he's got the ball or not. This is a big dude I'm trying to bring down.
Second down and 10. Vince Young going to Taylor deep. Juggled, intercepted by the Red Raiders. In the end zone. Doesn't know if he has to come out. He's playing keep away, and down he goes at the 2-yard line. Nazi Rudin didn't know exactly where he was, whether or not he had to keep coming or take a knee and bring it out on the 20-yard line. And there is a penalty flag, however, back at the line of scrimmage on the 45.
Ineligible receiver, number 16 on the offense.
Let's decline.
That's going to be declined.
Red Raider football.
Wonderful job this time by the free safety right here that reads this play and gets back. And that's why the ball is tapped up on the play. He reads it, watch him turn around. I think it's Slay, number 3. Yes, Dwayne Slay, the big hitter, gets in the middle of it. Now, you got to keep your wits about you. Keep your wits. You're not out. You're not out now. You don't know if you're out or not, so you got to go. A turnover, but first and out on the 1st-yard line.
Number 36, Huffman, could have helped out in this situation.
And kept him in the end zone.
He's the one who should have said, take a knee, get down. Regardless, it's a second turnover by Vince Young. Ball is on the 2-yard line, and Cody Hodges will come up.
Tight splits under center. Great turnover there by Texas Tech.
Toss to Henderson. To the 4-yard line, where it is second down. The goal here for the Longhorn defense, don't give up a first down. And of course, coming up later, we'll have the Chevrolet players of the game, and Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Most situations, if you're a quarterback back with Vince Young there throwing that post, you expect at least to get an incompletion out of that play. That was a tremendous play by the Tech secondary.
Henderson's to the right of the quarterback.
Yeah, goal line. Look at those splits on the 4-yard line.
Whitley stays at center. There's a fake. Taking off. Just gets it off. Incomplete.
Boy, did Michael Huff close on that play. He really closed on that play. You could see the athletic ability of number 7 safety Michael Huff. That ball should have been completed. Most teams, most passes, when Cody Hodges throws one like that, that's a completion, but not against these athletes today.
Need 8 yards. 3rd down. Hodges is 3 of 8 for the game and does have the 1 touchdown pass to Henderson. Firing incomplete. Missed Hicks. And the Red Raiders are forced to punt, so the heat is on Alex Reyes punting again.
Just a bit of disruption to the timing of the pass offense there. A jam downfield just took that communication, that, the receiver quarterback communication that's so easy sometimes just a step off, and that's what happens.
Reyes will be standing near the end line in the end zone. He'll be all the way back. Great view from behind him. Cosby standing across the midfield at the 48-yard line of the Red Raiders. He waits the return. You can see the 3 protectors there. Eyeing the rush. Gets it off. Another short field for the Longhorns. Cosby up the middle. Explodes. Stumbling down at the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. There is a penalty flag thrown back on the goal line, and the way Texas is acting, they're going to have the ball 1st and goal.
Boy, was that an explosion by Cosby, one of the fastest Texas players, baseball players really coming on now. You saw that quickness.
1st and goal for the Longhorns.
You see Quan right here. He catches his ball and takes it north-south. Watch this. One step and bang, right up there. There's the acceleration. Gets into the open field right now, and just the tip of the ankle.
So now Vince Young, who has thrown an interception in each of his last 2 possessions, brings the offense out. They'll show that fullback again, and Jamal Charles. Remember, they also have big Henry Melton over here on the sideline. Charles, short of the 5-yard line. And let's check in on U.S. They'll try to regain the lead. They were ahead 3-0, and then yielded a touchdown. 2nd down and goal for Young. Incomplete, and again he had a wide open receiver. Remember, he overthrew his tight end early in the game. A couple of interceptions and a penalty flag back at the goal line.
Probably will be a pick. It's one of those rub-offs, or it'll be holding in the secondary. One of the two. It has to be one of those two. Well, it is.
Holding back there, and that's a half the distance.
That's half the distance to the goal line. Automatic 1st down.
Doesn't seem like Vince Young kind of talking to his receivers like, I expect you to go flatter there. I thought you were going to go more quicker out of your break. They don't seem to be in sync yet.
Here comes big Henry Melton, and we do mean big. Number 37 is 270 pounds of freshman running back. And someday, folks, expect to see him lined up at defensive end. But for the time being, he'll be this short goal line fella down here behind the fullback. Here he comes. Battling toward the goal line. It'll be spotted just inside the 1-yard line. We check in. Jack, that is one big dude down there, and he's going to be switched into the defensive end.
Yeah, Brett, you'd think it's 6'3", 276. Well, he's a running back. He's open to all sorts of names. They've tried Hemi Train. They've tried Mack Truck. But Vince Young probably gave him the best name. First, he wanted to call him the Melton Mule, and then he settled on Big Beef Jerky.
Big Beef Jerky is set to go here again, Jack. Touchdown. Texas regains the lead. Don't you move me to defensive end just yet, Coach Mack. I want to keep on running with the football.
So the mental mistake by Texas Tech after the interception really came back and cost them and bit them on that one.
Indeed, and David Pino with Nordgren the holder. Schrader's the sniper. (10-7).
Just power on power. Up front power, in behind power.
And we'll take a break in Austin. Strong leg. Coming out on the 20-yard line. We asked Coach Mike Leach what he looks for in a quarter. The one he has he's settled in. And Gary, I know you have noticed his grip, and certainly
a little bit
have
different.
this first down. It is very, very different. We've got a good shot of it, and Gary will walk you through that. Hereford, Texas. Here's Cody waiting for somebody to break. Got him in the middle. First down, and here is. Talk us through this.
Didn't have good laces or something, because that is unusual. Usually those laces help you spin the ball better, but hey, it's all comfort when you throw the football, and obviously he's comfortable with it.
2nd and 1 on that 9-yard gain. Joel Falani catching his first pass, and Henderson reaching for the first down, and it'll depend on the spot. The linesmen do not have it spotted across the 30 yet.
One of the changes Gene Chinzik made with his defense was to bring speed at linebacker. And that time, Drew Kelson, who was a safety before Gene got here, really attacked that play. He's playing linebacker now, but number 4 just hit that right in the mouth with quickness.
So Henderson trying to reach across, and remember, under the rules of instant replay, you can change the spot. As Henderson had reached across the 30. Remember, I told you it was going to be up to the spot to determine whether we'd have a third down or a first. As it sits right now on the field, it is third down. If it is indisputable upstairs that he had reached the ball across the 30-yard line, it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Take a look at this.
See the football, he gets hit in the backfield by number 4 right there, spins, gets hit by Crowder, and does he fall across the line? It's very, very close. Remember, he just has to touch the line because the ball was started on the 20-yard line with the touchback. So if he just touches that 30-yard line, it is a first down.
The replay official reviewed the line to gain call. He's placing the ball just over the 30-yard line. First down.
So it is a 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders.
It's about as calm of official as I've ever seen make a change of a call like that. Huh? There's a laid-back referee if I've ever seen one.
Tom Walker.
Texas is using a lot of short routes right now. Will Tech and Mike Leach go deep?
There's a timeout as we come to the end of the first quarter. 10-7. The Longhorns lead it. But today here in Austin, Texas Tech is way under its average. 67 total yards in that first quarter against this Longhorn defense. Gene Chinzik, the one-time defensive coordinator at Auburn, calling the shots. Here is Henderson on a flare and gets to the outside on Brown, close to a first down. So, Mr. Danielson, what do you make of this? Do we give the defense all the credit in the world, or the offense is a little tight in this game?
Well, I think there's a lot riding on this football game, and the skill players, the 2 quarterbacks, are struggling a little bit. But the most under-publicized part of this football game that's better than I thought, Texas Tech's speed on defense. The Tech defense can run. They play very solid, and they look at the quarterback. They're very, very good getting to the ball.
2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard gain. Fake the end around. Throw underneath to Henderson. Crosses the 40 for a first down. Killebrew, one of the 3 defenders there on top of Henderson, but the chains move for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, I like what the Red Raiders are doing now. They're going to establish, since these linebackers are jumping on all those intermediate routes with the wide receivers, that they must account for Henderson. Okay, try to move those linebackers up a little bit, and then you can throw behind them, because right now, those speed at linebacker and those safeties, Huff is just jumping on everything, so you establish something else.
Henderson, of course, the dual threat now to the left of Cody Hodges. He can run, and he's just a sensational receiver. Comes out late on the release, incomplete. There's a penalty flag down at the 45-yard line, which could be holding. It was a first down pass.
Well, it just looked like Cody had eyes in his back that time, a clock to just know how long to hold it.
Sideline warning. Texas sideline. First warning of the game. Result of play, first down.
Okay, we've got that over with.
Yeah, and they called it a completed pass, too.
Absolutely. I am surprised that he threw the ball to get it off.
You could almost feel the sack coming, couldn't you, on that play?
Absolutely.
And that's what it is. When you're going to play in this offense, you have to have a quick release. Small little quarterbacks, the last 3 have been almost mirror images. Quick release. Get rid of it quickly.
Sets a screen. Here comes Henderson. And he's driven out of bounds on the far side by Aaron Harris. Out of Mesquite, Texas, outstanding linebacker.
The screen yardage goes to the quarterback as passing yards. We all know that. But in the Tech offense, this is their running game. This is what controls the pass rush, and this gets the ball into the hands of your skilled player, Henderson. You can see Mike Leach has come out with this series saying, we've got to establish our running back.
Needing 2 for the first down. Ball's inside the Longhorn 40. First down, and they cross the 30-yard line, and that's a pass that only the receiver is able to catch. It was thrown to Robert Johnson, recruited as a quarterback. He's out of Americus, Georgia. He played at junior college, and he was the top-rated JC quarterback in the country. And they have converted him, and for a time he was not too happy about it. But now some of his friends have told him that his future as a football player lies in being a wide receiver, and he's one of the more dangerous ones on the Red Raider offense.
You can see the offensive linemen turn around and call the protection. They moved the back to the other side because they wanted help to the other side.
That one bounces. Incomplete. And Huff, you know, you just saw him on the coverage there, and got some inside access. He took a long look at Cody Hodges and the Red Raider attack. Here's what he saw.
His first receiver wasn't open, so he looked for the second and third, and I mean, he just made a great pass in the back of the end zone and he scored. He's just great with his feet, and he has a quick release, and he knows where he's going with the ball.
And he's up against that quick release right now, and they decide to hand it off, and Henderson battles his way back across the 30-yard line.
Good call by Chiswick that time, defensive coordinator, guessing with Mike Leach. He called that safety blitz right into the draw play that time. Perfect call at the perfect time. That was a scheme that Tech could not handle that time. Key down, third down, and it's third and long, exactly where Texas wants him.
Hodges trying to get somebody to clear and can't. Going to have to keep it himself. Keeps on battling for a first down. Instead of stepping out of bounds, he saw that he was close enough to charge for a first down and a 13-yard gain. He's not noted as a dangerous runner.
He was a high school decent runner, but you don't do that a lot here. Watch Cedric Griffin, number 8. I think he felt that Cody was going to go out of bounds, and he pulls off right there down the sideline. And look at, he kind of just stops and lets him go by, and that's a huge play down the sideline by Cody.
On a 3rd and 11,
wow.
13 yards.
Nobody covered him.
There's a penalty on this play. This one's coming back.
I wonder if that's an illegal formation. That thing was called right away. Texas misaligned that time. Maybe Texas Tech did also.
Yellow flew on both sides.
They had 12 men on the field. Texas, did they? 4 and 4 and 4. That looks like 12. 4, 4 and 4. That looks like 12 to me.
Illegal shift on the offense.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Illegal
5, 6, 7, 8,
participation.
9, 10, 11, 12. Texas has 12 men on the field unless somebody ran out after the play.
Penalties offset. Repeat first down.
Yep, replay first down. Look at that. Illegal shift and 12 men on the field. Cody Hodges, Brent, saw that Texas had too many men on the field and quick snapped it. Unfortunately, they weren't in an illegal formation when he did it.
So it is 1st and 10. The ball resting on the 17-yard line. Incomplete, and his receiver was well covered that time. Anyway, number 27, Michael Griffin, was all over the intended receiver that time. Let's go down to Jack. Indeed, 2nd down and 10 now for Cody. He's 9 of 17. Now he's 10 of 18, but this won't get much. to the 15-yard line. All right, Gary, and Jack can participate. Here's a question for you about young Mr. Hodges. Hereford, Texas, okay? Hereford High School. What's their nickname?
The Steers.
No, but you're in the neighborhood.
The Longhorns.
The Horns.
The Horns.
Jack, what do you think it is?
I think it's got to be the Longhorns.
Oh, you're both wrong. The Hereford White Faces. Come on now, think about the last Hereford you saw.
Yeah. Boy, can't take an off day around here, I'll tell you that.
Third down. Flaring to the end zone and incomplete. Out of bounds is the ruling on that far side, but it looked like a beautifully thrown ball to Jared Hicks.
Jared Hicks ran a beautiful route, too, on this one. He came inside, attacked the defender. The ball's thrown to a spot outside of the field, and Hicks catches it with one hand, but he caught it with one hand, didn't have control, right.
Didn't control it, slid out of bounds, but that was a beautiful play, wasn't it?
Got that one-on-one. Hodges read it exactly right. Went to the right guy and threw it maybe a foot too far.
Alex Reyes a hole for Trelica, 32-yarder. Got it. We're deadlocked at 10.
Wasn't pretty, but it counts 3 points.
Unbeaten Texas Tech and unbeaten Texas. Battle of the Texas Titans, and we're deadlocked at 10. Scoring drive, 5 minutes, 65 yards, and a field goal for the Red Raiders. Cody Hodges. So they're deadlocked as the ball blows off the tee a little bit. Interested in the total yards in this game, way under their averages. Red Raiders with 122 so far, and Texas with 62 and 2 big turnovers by Vince Young.
And the big stat Tech needed was plays, and right now they've run 10 more plays than Texas.
This will come out, rode the breeze, and it'll be out on the 20. Well, the Pacific Life game summary, we will take you back and we will show you one of those turnovers. Vince Young is picked off by Parker, and this set up the Red Raider touchdown. The pass to Henderson. And then back come the Horns as Melton busts across for the Texas touchdown. Time of possession, 11 minutes for the Red Raiders and 7.5 for the Horns. Young keeps it. Struggling as a passer, but certainly not as a runner. He busts to the 35-yard line at a 1st and 10. Vincent Meeks on the stop. Let's go down below to Jack.
Well, guys, you might wonder what the mood of Vince Young is. He's had a couple of problems in the first quarter. Well, just before he went back out on the field, he and Casey Studdard have got a thing, his left guard, about Casey Studdard's little belly. Vince Young walked up, said, "Let me rub that belly. I need some luck." And they both started chuckling.
Keeping him loose down there. Selvin Young is his running back. Fired complete that time. Taylor just shy of midfield on the reception. So Ramonce Taylor, one of the great dual threat weapons for this Texas team. Huffman with the stop.
And now Texas is starting to go a little more no huddle also. And I think this is Greg Davis's way of trying to get Vince Young into the football game. He ran him, let him get a hit a little bit, go a little no huddle, and get him into the flow of the football game.
Selvin Young, 5 yards on 1st down. Hudler. Well, Roger Clemens, the old Longhorn, will start tonight for Houston in the World Series. Now, that's a hint, but who are the only pitchers from the University of Texas to start a World Series game, or is Roger Clemens the only one? So we'll dish out a little baseball here.
Kind of saved that one there, didn't you? Kind of back-ended it and gave the one name.
But I was about to give the answer first. Did I do okay?
Yeah,
Did I recover my own fumble?
It, yeah.
Okay. All right. 2nd down. Young bust for a 1st down. Running as well as I've seen him, certainly, since the knee surgery which sidelined him a year ago. Now he's replaced by Charles, the freshman.
Dwayne Slay, who's had a lot of knockout hits, number 3, the safety, goes for the knockout this time on Young, but he doesn't wrap out. He comes up and does a hit, but then look at Selvin Young just bounces off and moves to the inside. When you come up as a safety, you got to grab him. You're the last line of defense.
The Texas Tech defense wants a timeout, so we'll take one too. Vince Young and the Longhorns, and the out-of-whack stat there. Note the rushing yards. Who would have thought Cody Hodges would have as many rushing yards as Vince Young? 22 apiece, and Vince has 2 picks already in this game. Right now, and the right tackle over there jumped. Blaylock pulled out early.
Before the snap, ball start. Number 63 in the offense. 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. Still first down.
Yeah, we asked Vince when he decides to run with the ball.
Right now, I'm just playing the game of football and trying to just rely on my offensive line, give me my time to sit back there and go to my 1, 2, or 3 receivers, and then if not, then I'll take it down and make something happen.
Yeah, a lot of folks viewed that as a work in progress. Vince Young staying in the pocket like he did right there. Complete. And a 1st and 10 into the right zone. What a run by Taylor after the catch.
Well, you could see the maturity of a quarterback right on that one. The halfback kind of goes short. The linebackers bite on it. This is passing 101. Watch this. Guy comes right here in circles. Watch the linebackers. Salty right here, right there. Jump on the running back, and then comes the crossing route right behind it. That's passing 101. Circle one guy underneath. Bring the passing, this crossing route behind.
Without a huddle, Charles, the freshman, one to beat to the 10. Just short of a 1st and 10. Dwayne Slay saves it, and Charles a little gimpy as he comes off to the sideline right now. So Selvin Young will re-enter the game for the injured freshman.
Came in tweaky into the game. Practiced very well on Thursday, and you see it 1 tackle, and it gets tweaky again.
2nd down and 1. Texas. Selvin Young, the junior from Houston, running as well as he has at any time since the major surgery.
Brent, we talked about it in the open. So many ways that Texas can attack you. 2 running backs, a great tight end, different receivers. Punt returns. They've got a very balanced football team. One of the best football teams Texas I've seen in a long, long time has had.
The flag, was it a celebration?
Yep. Unsportsmanlike. Must have been a dead ball, so that's what you would assume. It's the zone read. Vince Young stays patient, gives it to Selvin Young, gets into the end zone, prances in.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the scoring team. The 15-yard penalty from the kickoff.
That will help the Red Raiders no end with field position.
Yes.
After that score.
Texas Tech has the option of taking that penalty there or on the field goal. They've taken the option of taking it on the extra point or the kickoff. They're going to take it on the kickoff.
We played, by my unofficial count, a little over an hour, a couple minutes over an hour. 9 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Moving a little bit quicker than you might have expected here. And that's good news for everybody. Pino tacks on the extra point. So the run for the Roses is well underway here. The Longhorns and the Red Raiders dreaming of passing. So because of the penalty, the ball is on the tee for Johnson. Way back on the 20-yard line. Amendola and Woods are the returners. Certainly realize this one is going to be returnable by Woods. 25, 30, and a penalty flag flies. 45 out of bounds, but a penalty flag could be a block in the back, which is generally what happens on these kickoff and punt returns when you see the yellow fly like that. So it's against the return team, and college football on ABC was brought back inside the 30-yard line with the penalty. So now it is up to the Texas defense here, Gary, to remember their keys and go to work against Cody Hodges. The Horns survived that celebration penalty, if you will. Under center, short drop, and this will be incomplete. Good defense by Brown. Well, we talked about the run for the Roses. Here are your major unbeaten. They're off and headed for Pasadena. Down on the inside, USC's the favorite. Texas with a slight lead right now. On the outside, UCLA, the dark horse. And Georgia has done well. They have already won today. So they're off and running. Some of those fellows out in Las Vegas are betting on who's going to win that race right now.
Well, everyone's saying it's a two-horse race right now. Who knows, right?
Yeah. There's the old masquerader over there. Cody Hodges, second down and 10. From the pocket middle, got it wide open, just short of midfield for the first and 10. Danny Amendola, sophomore from the Woodlands, for 20 yards.
Boy, that was a nice touch by Cody Hodges that time. Threw it right over Aaron Harris's head, number 2, the middle linebacker. Perfect touch.
And John, what about the run for the Roses? What are the Trojans doing right here, Brett? Sensational Reggie Bush. He also, John, don't forget, he has the shove of the year, too. Doing what most good football players would do. Nothing doing on that. All right, now the Aflac question. Roger Clemens is starting tonight for Texas. Is he the only Longhorn pitcher to start a World Series game? Look, Bert Hooton 3 times for the Dodgers. And Tex Houston, that's the one that many of you missed. 1946 with the Boston Red Sox on the left-hand side. There's old Bert, Roger Clemens. So 3 great Longhorns, and Roger Clemens, he's the toast of the Houston area tonight as the Astros will be playing their first World Series game against the Chicago White Sox. Hodges fires complete. Another first and 10. Threads the needle to the 40-yard line, picking up 12 yards to Olamua. And well, you got the clicker out, and once they go to room there, Miss Allison and the Hilton, and get upstairs and get 2 TV sets turned on tonight.
Clicker will be going.
Absolutely. Now, she's got 2 sets up there. We leave them both on. There's a dump off to the right-hand side. Robert Johnson again.
You can see Texas Tech now. Cody Hodges is getting the feel of the football game. You know, I thought he was rushed a little bit, actually trying to make too much happen right now. He's really starting to get in the flow of the game. He's 14 for 24. There's not a lot of big plays against this Texas secondary so far, but he just seems to be more confident throwing the football.
2nd and 5 for Hodges, the Red Raiders. Texas with a 17-10 lead on the Selvin Young touchdown. Does get it off, incomplete.
Got outside the tackle box.
Hodges wanted face mask. There is no question. He thought that on the blitz that Harris had a hold of his face mask. Take a look at this.
Yeah, I had my eyes downfield. I did not see that. There was no one open on the play. Hodges comes out, getting pressured by Harris, throws the football, and gets hit. Yeah, after he lets that ball go, that should be a penalty. There's no doubt.
Absolutely. The official was intent on watching whether it was a legal play or not.
Checking to see
and I think he missed Killebrew seeing exactly where he had thrown the ball. It was hard to be looking at 2 places at the same time. 3rd down. Deflected. Incomplete.
Aaron Harris got a piece of that one.
The big one is right here in Austin. And how about Missouri putting it on Nebraska 41-24. The Aggies lead Kansas State 23-8 in the 4th, and Iowa State 30-10 over Oklahoma State. But Missouri now with a chance to win the Big 12 North.
Texas Tech, 4th down. They go for it. They are perfect on the season. They have converted every try on 4th down this season.
Change up as the Longhorns showed blitz.
Tried to deke him into an offside penalty that time, and then decide what he's going to do afterwards. Penalty, they now obviously will punt the football, I think.
That's Matt Mike over there.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta,
well, if you're not going to go for it on 4th and 5, you're not going to go for it on 4th and 10.
Here they go with the kicking team up the sideline. Yeah, you got to have that little disclaimer with him, though.
That's right. I think against any other quarterback but Vince Young, he goes for it right there.
Would like not to fall back by 2 touchdowns
He wants
before the
Vince to go the long field at least, or he hopes.
He may be a mad Mike, but he's not a crazy Mike. And number 10 will scare an awful lot of coordinators around the country before this season is over. And we got a timeout by the Longhorns. 6:59 to go in the second. Texas leads it by. Welcome back to our BCS Spotlight game presented by ADT as we approach the top of the hour with Gary Danielson and Jack Arute. I'm Brett Musburger. 17-10 showdown in the Big 12 South. A battle of 2 of the unbeatens, both ranked in the top 10 in the BCS rankings. Reyes to punt it, and Juan Cosby fumbled twice to get it off, blocked. Out of bounds. Texas ball.
It was not an accurate snap.
Michael Griffin is the young man who came in and blocked it.
Watch how he moved to his right. He thought he was going to go to the left because he had his 2 gunners on the left side of the field and threw him off. See how it took him off? Then he just drops the ball, and it's shades of bad things happening. Try to get it off, and it's too late. But he felt that snap was going to go to his left because both gunners were to his left, and the center snapped it in the wrong direction.
Selvin Young continues at running back with Jamal Charles having re-injured his left ankle. There's the screen to the outside, and Carter, Brian Carter, the senior, steps out of bounds at the 16. Jack?
Let's update you on Jamal Charles's condition. It is the same ankle, Brent, that he's been working with throughout the course of the last couple of games. He's been trying to battle back from it. So what they've done is they've retaped it. Taped it inside the shoe and outside the shoe. He's got a brace on it. They say he's ready to come back and play.
And Jack, his substitute, Selvin Young, scored the go-ahead touchdown. He's out there blocking for fences, throwing end zone. Touchdown! A beautiful running catch by Billy Pittman. The blocked punt leads to a Texas touchdown. Biggest lead of the game.
This is just, from a quarterback, watching a quarterback, I'm in awe of that. I'll tell you, his footwork, that's like a quick jump shooter. He got that off so quickly. He didn't have to set his feet at all. We'll show you.
David Pino tacks on the extra point. A 2-touchdown advantage for the Horns.
Watch Vince come out to his left. You can see it to the outside. He throws it kind of sidearm. He likes to throw that when he drops it right in the basket on the run. His feet barely set on a plate. He just flicks it out there, going one way and flicks it. It's unteachable. And a big old guy like that can wing it has that kind of touch on the run. Watch his feet. He doesn't even step forward, kind of backs up like Brett Favre. And, you know, he kind of warms up like this. We caught him in practice here. This is before the game, warming up. Watch how he just flicks that ball. He does this a lot. Just throws the ball without stepping. And when he has to on the blitz, he just lets it go.
Does it quickly, too, partner.
Yep.
11 seconds. 2 plays and 23 yards.
And, you know, I think Mike Leach is going to say, I told you we shouldn't have punted. Hate those punts.
Matt Mike would like to get one back here.
What a special talent. What a special talent Vince Young is.
Johnson. Kickoff is fielded. Woods has it. And barely gets back to the 20-yard line. And Jack Pittman on a nice run out with that score.
Yeah, and just consider this, Brett. Last season at this exact time, Billy Pittman was contemplating quitting the game of football. He was beset with injuries, and then all of a sudden he developed Bell's palsy. Then just as quickly as it arrived, it subsided a month later. I think maybe part of it is Billy's grandmother's luck has rubbed off on him. His grandmother, Gwen Kelly, won $1.5 million in the Texas lottery 3 years ago.
Yeah, there's a big lottery winner this week in Powerball out in Oregon.
Well, couple more passes from Vince. There's going to be a $13 million lottery for Texas.
First down and 10. Short drop, lofts the high pass, and falling down with the catch. Beautiful. At the 39-yard line is the former quarter. No, that's Joe Filani down there. Let me check that. Joe Filani, the junior from Phoenix. Beautiful
body control. Now, let's talk about this defense and what you have to do when you're going against this type of team. First of all, align properly. These are the absolutes. Communicate. Tell everybody what you're doing. Substitute freely. There's a lot of plays, a lot of running. Lessen the quarterback's pre-snap confidence. Move around. Mix man-to-man and zone. Penetrate up front. Pressure the quarterback, of course. And then don't forget, you got to tackle, be physical, and then stay composed. They're going to hit some plays on you.
Trying to do just that and does. For a first down across midfield. And that's Olamua.
You know, I've talked about this a lot, Brent. Maybe the last 3 years of doing football games, as more and more teams are running this spread offense and quarterbacks and receivers are getting better at pitching and catching the ball, you have to have a different mindset on defense. You can't get upset if they hit a few against you. It's like a basketball player. You play good defense, you put the hand up. If he makes it, you run down the court and play basketball. That's the same with football. You line up again and try to make the next play.
And that's what the Horns are doing right here. Just lining up and waiting. Gets it off to Henderson. Angles down that sideline and crosses the 35 to the 32-yard line. You know, there's a couple of ex-Longhorn greats that are probably enjoying this up in Kansas City. Priest Holmes, a great running back for the Chiefs, and Derek Johnson, who was the Butkus winner down here last year. And last night, the Chiefs and Dick Vermeil went into Miami and beat the Dolphins. The game was rescheduled, of course, because of the hurricane. And the team packed up, flew in on Friday, got dressed, went out, tended to business, and I imagine Coach Vermeil's giving the fellas a well-deserved Saturday off here, and they're probably enjoying what the Horns are doing here. You know, Priest Holmes is one of the, you know, you think of Ricky Williams, who was held to -1 yard last night for the Dolphins. Priest Holmes is often overlooked when you talk about great running backs who come out of the school.
And I remember Priest when he played here at Texas. He's earned every snap of his NFL career through hard work and making himself a better football player.
When you watch him in practice up there, it's interesting. Like all the great ones, at the end of the play, he keeps going for another 20, 25 yards. You know, you see that, and that just helps pick the rest of your team up.
Now, Texas Tech right now, this is their best drive. I think they really are focused in on running the ball, making plays, screens, quarterback plays, passes. They've done everything on this drive so far.
Second down for Cody. He's going to take it off. Got the first down to the 20-yard line. The Red Raiders may get one back here. They may get two back. 5:20 to go in the half.
Those yards are climbing very quickly.
He's over 218 total yards.
There's so many different ways to be balanced if you're throwing the football. You don't have to have a lot of rushing yards. You can have screen yards, wide receiver screen yards, quarterback runs. There's a lot of different ways to move the football.
A good block, and then the second defender was on top of him.
He waited as long as he could, though, and got rid of the ball and avoided the sack. He's tough, isn't he?
Yes,
he is tough.
And Mike Leach whispering play over there on the far side.
Bunch of different looks from that Texas secondary. This time they're going to have a zone blitz inside. Two people coming in. It's zone coverage behind it. That's Gene Chizik's style. He loves to bring linebackers, but plays zone behind it. You got guys wide open like that, but no time to throw the football to him.
Hicks is far out to the left. Johnson is slammed. And I mean, unloading is Eric Hall, number 49.
That was 2 trains on the same track that time. That's not good. You got to make sure the track is clean. Wide receiver screen, and Zoop coming right on the same track, right into him for the tackle. Got to live with those calls. You make the wide receiver screen. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
The Red Raiders need a play here. Here comes the blitz, and Henderson on a run against it up the middle. Inside the 5-yard line, the perfect call. The blitz came late, and Henderson exploded up the middle.
See, Texas tried to disguise, and I think this is called play right here, an audible called play. Mike doesn't make a lot of running calls, but with the 3-man line that we showed you, you could see they checked into this play and caught him trying to disguise against the 3-man front. They're so spread out. Perfect call by Cody Hodges.
18 yards on 3rd and 11. 1st and goal for Hodges and the Red Raiders. Anderson won't get there this time. Lost yards on that play as Michael Griffin, who blocked a punt leading to a touchdown, makes the stop.
Huff and Griffin run so well. They're comfortable whether they have to cover a receiver man-to-man or come up and stop the running game.
Hicks is out to the left. Polani is there too. Amendola 3 wide to the left. Second down. Deflected. Intercepted on the ricochet. Picking it off is Tim Crowder, the junior from Tyler, Texas, on the ricochet throw by Hodges.
Aaron Harris, number 2, Brent, made the play, the middle linebacker. He moved up in the line of scrimmage, and Cody Hodges lost him. And then when he dropped back on the crossing routes, number 2 makes the play. You'll see the crossing routes coming over. And then Aaron Harris, number 2, just gets his hand on it right there. And actually, I don't know if did that hit the umpire? That might have hit the umpire. I thought it was Aaron Harris on the play. With he reached back and got it. But now I'm wondering if it did hit the umpire on the play. Because Cody Hodges was upset. Remember, he was turning around yelling? I'm wondering if that hit the umpire.
Ball is at the 12-yard line. 2:46. And Texas Tech also has had a blocked punt in this game. So incomplete. Let's take one more look at it now, Gary, and let's see if it is Harris or the umpire.
Okay, here's the umpire right here. Oh, right there, okay. Got his X right there around him. Harris goes by. I thought he reached back and got it. Oh, it hits Harris right in the head. Hits Harris right in the head on the play. The umpire was dodging the ball at the time.
Okay, that is very good homework, and I've been doing this. Charles is back on the field. The freshman breaks free to the 31-yard line. So the retaping job that Jackaroo told you about worked on Charles. Do you remember the very fascinating? He keeps 2 sets of rankings, one in which points matter and one for the BCS in which they don't. And there could be a big difference on the juggle. Caught by Pittman. Pittman to the 25, to the 21-yard line.
One-handed stab of a fastball from Vince Young. Dwayne Slade thought he had an interception, and Pittman sticks up his mitt and grabs it, bobbles it, and catches it with one hand. Right here. Slade thinks he's got the interception on the crossing route, and Pittman sticks up the mitt and gets it. Slade goes, I got it. Oh, my. It's coming right to Pittman, and he turns it upfield.
A 48-yard gain and a timeout called by the Red Raiders. So a sudden turn of events as the Red Raiders had a 1st and goal They turn it over, and suddenly it is the Horns who could strike again. Now, I want to go back. I want to go back into that miracle finish, if you will, by the Red Raiders of Texas Tech against Nebraska. And that was the he said, I'm going to watch for Filani coming in underneath. And he was in a foot race when the pass ricocheted off his head and into his arms. So don't think these fellas don't study tapes. Take a look at what's gone on. What are the favorite plays? What are the patterns they like to run? And they remember things like that. Good coaching and good playing by Harris. First down and 10. Offensive line gives Young time. Going to go to Swede. Interference on this. This is going to be nullified. The field judge threw the flag in the end zone. There was pushing. Now Slay was involved. He made the interception. And let's see who was pushing down there.
It was Nazi Rudin, number 26. It was his fate. It was a stutter and go to the outside the Swede on the play. Nazi did a good job on it. Slay came over the middle free safety on the play and did it. Watch this, a little stutter coming down. Good read right there. And as he comes up, Rudin cuts him off, but the ball's in the air. That would have been a perfect technique had the ball not been in the air, but you can see the official says ball's in the air. That's interference.
So an automatic first down. Ball set down at the 7-yard line, and it'll be first down and goal. There's Selvin Young up the middle, looking for another touchdown. Got it. Man, what a powerful running show number 22 is putting on here today.
We talk about turning the field upside down quick, huh? Tech's in there looking for a touchdown. All of a sudden it goes the opposite way.
Jerry, the last 4 possessions, the Horns have 4 touchdowns.
I'll tell you, Vince Young is so calm. I don't know if I've ever seen that calm of an athlete in a long time out on a football field.
475 yards of total offense already. We could be headed for 1,000 inside of 2 minutes. And the Horns are hooking them right now. 31-10.
ESPN Game Day told us a great story a couple of weeks ago about why Vince Young is so tough. He was a youngster. He was on his way down his neighborhood street on his favorite mode of transportation, a bicycle. What, to get a little girl's phone number, when all of a sudden he was rushed to the hospital after being hit by a truck, hit by a car, and it was serious injuries that he had to battle back from. And Vince Young said ever since then, the pain he endures on a football field is nothing compared to that. By the way, he did get the girlfriend's phone number.
The key footnote. Fielded by Woods. There is another penalty. So the yellow continues to fly on this game. And we have had 5 penalties against the Red Raiders already in this game. For 38 yards, 2 against Texas. There's number 6, and glance at the last 4 possessions. Quickly 8 yards. Driven 80, 23, and 88. The total yards in this game. You can see what they're averaging here with 5 touchdowns. But the Red Raiders, the big turning point was when they failed to score to cut it to 7. They turn it over. Texas marches down. Pittman's long pass sets it up.
Well, a number. They only have 1 turnover, but the block punt also was huge.
Absolutely. The
interception when they don't run, they run it out of the end zone down to the 1-yard line. Just seems like everything that can go wrong has been caused. A lot of things caused by themselves. Texas Tech is causing their own problems. They've matched up yard-wise. They're just making too many mistakes. A lot of different weapons on this Texas football team.
Hodges is ready. And it's Henderson. Very close to the first down marker of that ball carrier, and Michael Griffin again. Michael and Marcus, the Griffin twins from right here in Austin, out at Bowie High School.
Kind of a double-edged sword here for Mike Leach. He really does not right now. His team is really reeling. Want to give that ball back to Vince Young again.
Going deep. Incomplete. So a minute and a half. The comparison. Remember now, Vince Young, he struggled a little bit at the beginning of this game with those 2 interceptions. But starting to come on now. 7 of 12 overall in this game.
Remember, Cody Hodges threw for 600+ yards last week against Kansas State. That's a win, 152 yards. Texas has held him in this football game.
And here is Henderson. Good-looking running back.
Sure is. He's been for a long time, too. A lot of space on the field, though, when you run draws for Texas Tech. Right now, I think Texas would like to give up those draw plays. They're playing the clock here with 1 minute and 10 seconds or so to go in the first half.
Linebackers are coming. Oh, he had him wide open in the middle of the field on the blitz and just overthrew Henderson a tad.
Yeah, it was a gimmick play. The wide receivers faked wide receiver screen. It was a delay all the way to Henderson. It would have been a touchdown had he completed the ball. Watch it. Faking the screen out here. Everybody blocks, and Henderson just sneaks out right over the middle. Would have been wide open right here for a touchdown. See it, wide receiver screen to the bottom. No one in the middle of the field. Catch the perfect defense on 3rd and short. They would have scored.
I wonder if they're going to try the hard count here. 4th and 1 with plenty of time for Vince Young and this Horn offense. No, they're going to go for it. They've got to hit this one. And they do for a first down. You talk about rolling the dice. Man, that was unbelievable. They put the ball in the hands of Amendola.
Don't see that a lot, but I guess wherever you give the ball to Vince Young right now would be tough, so you might as well go for it. You get a punt block. Guy doesn't like to go for punts on 4th down anymore.
He's had enough of that.
Yeah.
So it's 1st and 10. Cody trying to get the ball downfield. Can't find a receiver clearing. And the clock continues to run. Tracking him down was Brian Robinson.
Robinson is one of those defensive end linebacker type players that plays on the outside. Sometimes he drops, sometimes he doesn't, but you could see he ran down Cody on that play.
So Tech uses its final timeout here in the first half.
And see it, there were players open in the middle of the field that time, but Hodges could not find him, came to the outside, thought he had the corner, but just not enough speed against that outstanding Texas defensive end linebacker type on the play. Now remember, Texas has timeouts left also. 2 timeouts, so they could force 1 more punt if they stopped them.
Let's check in with Jack.
Well, Brent, as we watch Cody Hodges, we want to give a shout out to his dad. His dad was in the stands at the Nebraska game, and he had 100% arterial blockage. When he got back to Texas, they operated on him and inserted stents, the same ones that went into our vice president, Dick Cheney, a couple of months ago. And believe it or not, I talked to Cody before the game. He's doing well, and he's sitting here in the stands watching his son, hoping to see if he can convert this one.
And, you know, you wish it nothing but the best, don't you, Jack? We've got 30 seconds to go. 31-10. The Horns build an advantage. Hicks short of the first down. He's 3rd down and short, and that clock will continue to move.
You just throw it to a spot out there. All the receivers know when you run your out, be ready to come back to the ball, and Hodges just flicks it out to the outside and says, go get it.
Time for a couple more if they hurry. That'll stop the clock if he goes down. 1 second. Amendola takes it out of bounds on the far side. So here comes the last play.
Now you'd wonder if they go the bunch to the end zone and try to pop the ball up in the air and get a cheap one at the end of the half.
.500 yards of offense here in the first half. The Horns will use a timeout. Second quarter slowed down a little bit. It's at 20 past the hour right now. So our BCS standings presented by Allstate, and of course the Texas Longhorns sitting there in the number 2 spot. I think I read this week that USC and Texas there that never have the first 2 teams in the first set of standings met in the championship game. So we'll see what happens. Virginia Tech, of course, with a major portion of its toughest schedule still coming up. Georgia with a win today, although Arkansas made a battle. Alabama, big game against Tennessee. LSU with 1 loss, sitting 6th. They're the Red Raiders. Miami with a loss, and unbeaten UCLA, and there's Penn State. We'll see Penn State next week.
I think the team that came farthest from behind to win was Ohio State. Started on the first BCS poll at 6th and went all the way up to the championship game.
I think you're right. They beat Miami in that overtime game over in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. John Junker, the fellow who put that show on the road, is here watching this game, scouting a couple of teams. You know, if Texas, if something should happen and they win the Big 12, and they would be interested. Obviously, it's an automatic for the Big 12 champion. And you know, Benny, our crack researcher, just called in from New York there. He said we overlooked LSU. They came from number 12.
That was a co-championship year, wasn't it?
First down and 10. And Hodges on the last play is not going to make the end zone. Maybe I spoke too quickly. Put on a good effort. The defense had a shot at the quarterback, and they hog-tied that rascal at the 15-yard line. Michael Griffin again, number 27. So Cody Hodges and the Red Raiders head off a disappointing first half for them. They trail 31-10. They could put only 1 touchdown on the board. We check in with Jack.
Coach, some self-inflicted,
right, as they try to figure out how to punt the ball and all of those things. Let's send you to New York. Here is